Hello there, it's Snej, again, founder of the Lifestyle Academy and owner of Sentience Personal Training and presenter of Wellbeing Wednesdays with Snej, the radio program. So welcome to video 2 of my 5-day challenge. Now, in this video, I'm going to teach you why making healthy choices doesn't need to take up so much time and that you don't need to keep putting it off until the perfect time. I'm going to show you how to save time and get results faster. And more importantly, this will help you dismiss the limiting belief that getting healthy takes too much time that you just don't have. So if you're juggling work, life, and kids, and you aren't sure how you can fit wellness into your busy schedule, or if you're over the age of 40 and you're struggling to manage your weight, things that worked in the past just aren't working, you'll discover how wellness seekers like you and me can be more effective in your workouts and also in your healthy choices. In video 1, we talked about the first step to help you make changes, and that increasing your energy levels will help to get you into action to improve your wellness through motivation and energy. I shared how this is going to immediately help you to have more energy, but you also would have noticed that the strategies to increase your energy also are going to help you to improve the amount of food that you are consuming daily. Not only increasing your energy levels, but making an impact on your weight and your health too. So if you haven't seen that video already, go back and watch it now and then come back to this one, because without the energy and the motivation, you won't be able to take these next steps. So today I'm going to build on what we discussed by sharing how to make your workouts more efficient and effective. And when you know how to do this, you'll know exactly how to get the best results in the shortest amount of time. Now, the goal is to break you free of that feeling that you don't have the time it takes to get fit and healthy. We've got a lot to cover today. Be sure to have pen and paper with you and ready to take some notes as you follow along. Anytime you're trying to get fitter and healthier, it's inevitable that you're going to hit some roadblocks, and you might have already experienced some of them. So things such as prioritizing the needs of others, a busy schedule, and even lack of support from your loved ones. If any of this sounds familiar, it's totally normal. But if you simply accept this, you'll never start to take the steps to look after your own health and feel better in your body. I know where you're coming from. I get that it feels like some of this is out of our hands and that life just seems to take over at times. And it's frustrating to come up against these things again and again. I've been there myself and I've seen other people go through the same challenges. So you are not alone. And it's especially stressful because you know that getting past these challenges are key in helping you to actually get fitter and healthier. So in this video, I'm going to make it easy for you by showing you the simple steps that I follow to become super efficient with my healthy choices and my workouts, which are going to save you lots of time. So, however, before you go any further, it's important that I bring something to your attention that often gets overlooked. So, coming up, I'm going to reveal the truth behind the old belief that looking after your health and fitness takes too much time and that you need to wait until everything is running smoothly before you can get started. And more importantly, I'm going to share with you what you need to know instead and what you can do instead, especially when it comes to workouts. So let's get into the heart of today's video, starting with our mindset breakthrough for day 2. So the mindset breakthrough for day 1 was that it's too hard. The mindset breakthrough for day 2 is that it takes too much time. So we're going to break through this limiting self-belief, because what you will find is that this mindset stems from the perception that we need complete control over every aspect of our lives to make health changes. And we know that that's simply not true and it's not going to happen. So if we can park that mindset that it takes too much time and start instead to find simple ways that we can make healthy choices in our day, you're going to progress and achieve your results. So if you're waiting around for the perfect time when the kids are all at school, or when your work has settled down, or when the Christmas months are over, or whatever it is, when you've built your home or moved home, or whatever the challenges are that get in our way, then you will find that you are forever putting it off. Instead, what I'm going to suggest and open up the possibility is the understanding that you don't need to have all your ducks in a row to drink water. You can still make that choice in the event of times where life gets a little bit tough. So you can still reach for a handful of nuts and an apple as a morning snack, even when you are feeling tired and stressed and feel like you've got too much going on. So, healthy choices can happen in any moment and at any time. And in fact, looking after your health and your wellness at times where you are feeling stressed or you do have lots going on is going to be the best possible thing that you can do for yourself. And the reason being is that when you are feeding yourself or making healthy choices, hydrating your body, and exercising, in these difficult times, you will find it is going to make you more resilient. It's going to make you cope better. You'll have clarity to make better decisions. So try to avoid and park that mindset that everything needs to be going along swimmingly so that you can start to look after your health. Instead, we're going to look at ways to make our workouts more effective and more efficient, but ways that you can implement healthy choices into your day more simply. Now, the thing is with, as I said, with choices and with hydration, with all of those healthy choices, you still need to choose in every moment. And the point is, as I mentioned, whether you're reaching for a chocolate bar or whether you're reaching for some yogurt, the time that it's going to take is very, very similar. But we seem to have this sense that when things are tough, we need to go towards junk food and or comfort foods, things that are high fat and high sugar. And as I mentioned, firstly, those choices are always going to leave you feeling bad. But the other thing is that they're not going to actually support your mindset, your health, and your wellness to be able to deal with life effectively. The other thing, though, too, is interesting to note is the truth is when we feel like we lack time, it's not that the health choices themselves are time consuming. As I mentioned, you can reach A or you can reach for B, a healthier choice or a poor choice. The time that it takes is the same. It's often the overthinking and the stress that's surrounding these choices to make them absolutely perfect that usually takes up more of our perceived time. And that's something that I'd like to help you break through today is that when we are trying to make a healthy choice, we think, okay, well, this smoothie for breakfast needs to be absolutely perfect. And I need to make sure I've got this and this. And, oh, well, I'm missing this ingredient. So, whatever, just leave it. I'll just have toast with butter because it's the easier option. So it's more in the amount of time that we are spending thinking about and going, okay, well, I can't have this and I shouldn't be having that. And I need to avoid carbohydrates. So maybe I should do this. And there are so many rules floating around in our head about what's good for us and what's not. And unfortunately, I think in today's day and age, we've got so much information around our food that we are trying to unpack it at a real micronutrient level to make a decision on it. And I think we need to scan back, pan away from that a little bit and take a broader perspective and know that hydrating your body, getting adequate rest, and make sure the lessons of day one that we're not over consuming and having that burden of digestion is actually more important than the choices themselves. So having too much input, too much information, too many rules around dieting and when you're allowed to eat fruit, when you should be eating carbohydrate, all of those choices, they are in and of themselves, they can have a significant contribution. But if they feel overwhelming to you and you keep putting off improving and making choices because you just don't know what direction to turn in, then that is absolutely what takes more time than anything. So, some of the strategies that you can use around that is to firstly get quality education and then know. And in tomorrow's blueprint, I'm going to show you exactly what living a healthy and sustainable lifestyle does actually include. So I'm going to unpack that for you in tomorrow's lesson. But for today, the step that you can take is emptying your cup. So, trying to get rid of all the rules that you have around what's good and what's bad, and going to teach you instead to start to listen to yourself. Listen to yourself, and it's the common sense approach. We don't need to know too much and have too many rules around food. We know we need to opt for wholesome options. So let's not overcomplicate it with looking at the food groups in an isolated way and thinking more about having balance and also eating all foods in moderation. So, including the things that you enjoy in moderation, sticking to the principles of day one's lessons, where you are only going to eat until you've had enough. You make sure you are avoiding eating between meals, you're avoiding eating after dinner. Then, what's actually in those meals? As a beginning level to get you into action, you can absolutely make better choices when you empty your cup and remove feeling bad about food, because it's those thought processes that do keep us stuck. So, when we're talking about some basic time saving tips, okay, what I would really recommend is to create a meal plan. So, have an idea of what you're going to have on each night of the week in terms of dinners. In the Lifestyle Academy, I unpack this and teach people the steps and specific strategies of how to plan out the meal. But thinking about planning out a meal, or even if you record what you've done for a week, if you have had a good week of food, or if you're sort of on this health kick now, you're listening to the 5-day challenge, you're moving into action, record what you're having. And then what you can do is try and record 3 weeks of meal plans and then just repeat them every 3 weeks. I like to have a summer meal plan and a winter meal plan, and then I vary them based on the produce that's available at that time. But having a meal plan, sitting down on a Sunday afternoon or a Sunday night as you're watching your Sunday night show, and just putting together what you're going to have for the week, even if it's super simple and super basic, it's going to take the thinking out of your meals. Because remembering, we're talking about reducing the amount of time we think it takes being healthy is. So the less time you spend on thinking about what to eat, because you've written it down, you've spent half an hour on it, and keep it basic. Stir fry on a Monday. Tuesday, let's do cooked chicken or a grilled chicken salad. On Wednesday, let's do tacos with lots of salad and lots of vegetables cooked into the sauce. On Thursday, let's do a pasta dish. Let's make sure it's got protein in it, a cooked side veg as well as salad. So we're reducing the pasta content. Keep the meals basic. Friday might be a quick frittata, whatever it is. A Saturday night, you might do roast chicken takeaway with some salad from the supermarket, whatever it is. Just throw it together, keep it super simple, but remove the thinking out of the meal planning. The other way that you can reduce the amount of time that you're spending on meal planning is to simplify your choices. This also takes the thinking out of it. And I have this conversation with my eldest son all the time. He wakes up in the morning and just goes, "Oh, what should I have for breakfast?" And that whole process can take so long. So I just say to him, have 2 options. It's either A option or B option. For me, it's either a smoothie or it is toast with either peanut butter and some fruit, or some avocado and an egg. It's simple. I've got two options. I don't spend any time thinking about it. And generally speaking, it is a smoothie. So before I know it, I've kicked myself into gear and I've made the smoothie, I'm drinking it, and I'm already planning out my day. I don't spend any time thinking about it. So simplifying your choices, even with your morning snacks or your afternoon snacks, just have one go-to, and then you can have variety by changing the type of fruit or the type of nuts or the type of veggie sticks or the type of dip, whatever it is. So simplify your choices. The next thing is to schedule your workouts in and create appointments for yourselves. So we're very good at sticking to schedules. We're very good at creating appointments for doctors, for loved ones, for work-related projects and meetings. And what happens is you just show up at that time to that appointment. So rather than thinking about, I need to get the workout in today, I need to go for a walk, I need to do this, just schedule it in, know when it's going to happen, and then you can stop thinking about it. Because remembering, it's the burden of overthinking things that takes the time, not the actual actions. Okay, we're going to dive into the workouts now. So this is the pivotal part of today's lesson. And unpacking the reality that working out to achieve a healthier body and to lose weight doesn't have to take hours and hours at a time. And in fact, becoming more efficient with your workouts and knowing what the right combination of workouts to get the most effective result is what you're just about to learn coming up. So, when we're talking about our workouts, let's have a look at how much do you actually need to do in a week and what do we need to do in a week. So, if you're trying to shift weight at the moment and tone your body and you're going on an hour-long walk every day, and trying to do that 3 or 4 or 5 times a week, then there is a much more effective and efficient way that you can do that. Or if you are going to the gym and spending an hour and a half on cardio, I don't think I've ever done that in my life, but there is definitely a lot more time that you can be spending doing other things than just exercising. Now, I will put a special note into here, and that is if you are going for long walks and they are because you just enjoy the mental health benefits of getting out there, being in nature, or going for a walk with a friend or a family member or a loved one, then that is very different to what I'm talking about today. So keep up with that if that's serving you and if you're getting benefit from doing that. If, however, you are working out, exercising, going on walks, going to the gym specifically to lose weight, tone your body and become stronger, to increase your metabolism, to slow down the signs of aging, then I'm going to show you something a lot more effective and efficient. And we're going to unpack that. Firstly, understanding that we need to do two types of activity, not just cardio and not just walking only. And that is the biggest change that I find I help people with, is to move the mindset that cardio is what they're doing, whether it be gardening or walking, and that's the only thing that they're doing. As we get older, especially as we're getting into our 40s with women, getting into menopause, the most significant thing that you can do for your health and your body is adding strength training, stimulating those muscles, which I've written here on the slide, 3 times per week. So I know with myself, the secret to my success and feeling better and maintaining the shape that I had in my 20s and in my 30s, especially as it did change when I turned 40, I absolutely will tell you that it did for me. I started to gain weight. And I had to change what I was doing with food. But more importantly, I've always had the strength training there. So our body naturally declines in terms of our metabolism and our muscle mass as we get older. So making sure that we are doing strengthening and resistance training exercises to keep our muscles strong is the answer to looking after your health, your weight, your metabolism, and your weight gain as you get older. So I cannot say that enough. So the two types of activities that you need to be including are cardio and resistance training. And the ultimate goal is to get 5 days of structured movement per week. So that would be 2 of those should be your walks, and 3 of those should be your resistance training. So if you're not currently going to a gym or you don't have a personal trainer and it's not something that you have done, if you are wanting to get started, there are very simple things that you could do. Or if you're wanting to save time, you can look up some workouts online. There is so much available to you. But I've also, in today's training, included one of the strength workouts from the Lifestyle Academy. So in the Lifestyle Academy, I provide the members 3 home-based strength workouts that people can do from home or from their gym. So that's included. So make sure that you jump into that. You will see me referencing, or you'll hear me referencing level 1s and level 2s and level 3s and 4s. So just pick a level that you are at. So 3 times a week, we want to stimulate our muscles. So if you are new to this, or if you're not wanting to join the gym, some basics of doing some squats, push-ups, some planks, some bicep curls with whatever you've got at home. Thinking about doing that 3 times a week, even if you're doing 10 minutes of it, is going to have an improvement and is going to have an impact. So the next thing that you also want to do is count your incidental daily movement. So you want to move more throughout your day. And the way that you can do that is to park further when you're traveling to work or when you're going to the shops, move more throughout your day. Avoid sitting for long periods at your desk, getting up, taking clothes out on the line, gardening, whatever it is that you, whatever ways that you can find to increase your actual incidental activity, because that also does add up. It burns more calories and it does speed up your results as well. So when we're thinking about exercise, we don't want to just think about the structured movement, such as your 2 cardio workouts or going to the gym, but we also want to factor in moving more throughout the day. So let's have a look at our time-saving cardio. As I mentioned, you do not need to go for an hour at a time or an hour and a half to get the benefits of cardio. In fact, what we're going to do instead is I'm going to encourage that you do between 50 and 30 minutes, but we're going to make it higher intensity. And in today's training, I've also included another resource, is a worksheet on how to add interval training into your workouts. So HIIT, which is high intensity interval training, or sprint intervals or fartlek training, it's all much of the same. It's basically a style of training where when we are doing our cardio, say for example, if you're going for a walk, we do not sit at the same level the whole time. So you don't want to walk at the same pace for 15 minutes or 30 minutes. You don't want to sit on a bike and do the same pace for that length of time, or be on the treadmill and sit at one level of intensity for cardio. And the reason why that is because when you start doing your cardio, anywhere between the 8 and 10 or 12-minute mark, depending on how intensely you're working, your body starts to reach what we call a steady state. And what that basically means is that your body has calculated how much oxygen it needs to feed the level of activity that you are doing. And what happens is that the body reaches a point where the amount of oxygen that you're consuming is equal to the amount of oxygen that you're burning, and the body will become so efficient, because remembering, our body is designed for survival. So it wants you to burn the least amount of energy, because it doesn't know when you're going to have to escape from a stress or run from a wild animal, right? In that hind brain that we have there protecting us. So what we want to think about is that if we are working at a same level of intensity, your body reaches steady state around about the 8 to 10 minute mark. So it'll be burning more calories up until that time, and then it'll reach a steady state, and you will still burn calories, but it will be the minimum amount that your body can expend to satisfy that movement. Whereas when we are doing intervals, which is bursts of higher intensity with a recovery period, your body all of a sudden goes, hang on a minute, what's happening? We need all this extra energy for this burst and this sprint that's happening. But then we come out of the sprint. Oh, no, hang on. We don't need to burn that much energy. Oh, hang on. Here's that sprint again. So what inevitably happens is because the body is unsure of your next movement, it is going to burn a lot more energy to satisfy this activity. It doesn't have time or space to become efficient in steady state because your energy demands and your oxygen demands of the activity and the intervals that you are doing are continually changing. So that is the way to make your workouts more effective. And two things will occur when you add interval training into your cardio. One is you're going to burn more calories, but you're going to improve your cardiovascular health because your body has to become more efficient at dealing with these higher intensities and then going into recovery. But also you're going to extend the EPOC effect, which I'm just about to teach you in the next couple of slides what that is. So the first change and the first action of today that I'm going to ask of you is that the next time you go and do some form of cardio, make sure that you are varying the intensity. So what that would look like if you are out walking is that you might walk for a minute, power walk for a minute, walk for a minute, a little bit more leisurely, and then power walk, go more intensely. Or it might be walk and then jog and then sprint and then walk recovery again, jog and then sprint. On a bike, you may want to lift the levels up every minute for 3 or 4 minutes and then come back down to a slower pace for a minute so you can recover. Same thing on the treadmill. So make sure that you are adding these intervals. And if you are specifically trying to include cardio into your week for the health benefits and to shift the weight and speed up your metabolism, then you need to start thinking about intervals. Okay, the next one is strength training. So we need to make sure that we are adding strength training in. And this is something that I absolutely love. At Sentience Personal Training, at my PT studio, I do have an in-body scanner that I get to scan our members and see the impact of strength training, not only on their muscle mass, but also on their metabolism. And it's fantastic how we can see an improvement in a month of an increase of 50 calories extra that people are burning at rest. So you might think, well, 50 calories isn't that much. Well, it actually is. It's a snack. But what happens is that when you increase your muscle mass, because your muscles are powerhouses and they use so much energy, not only are you burning more calories at rest, which is your basal metabolic rate. So that's the one of the data points that the in-body scan gives us. But when you're taking these muscles that you now have more of because you're physically stronger, when they're moving throughout the day, they're going to be burning even more energy. And when you're exercising, they're going to be burning more energy as well, which basically means using up more calories. And when you couple this increase in strength and metabolism through resistance and strength training, and then you monitor your food and you make improvements to your food and you stop eating after dinner and you avoid snacking in between, all of those things, what basically happens is your results just speed up because you're burning more, consuming less. So it is the powerful equation to what I see allows people to make those body transformation changes. So when the strength training, if you aren't doing it, again, I'm such a huge advocate. I've been training in gyms since the age of 14. And so that has been over 30 years that I've been working with weights. And I cannot say enough about how I feel in my body. I feel stronger than ever. I'm able to do so much. I'm generally pain-free in my joints and in my body, and I'm still quite capable of doing so much. And I really attribute that all to the strength training. So if you aren't currently strength training, then you need to get started. So the benefits are that it's going to increase your muscle mass. And we're not talking about getting big Arnold Schwarzenegger type. Okay, I've tried that to build a decent amount of muscle mass. Does, especially as a woman, take time, conscious effort, a lot more workouts than what I'm describing. and very detailed meal plans that will feed that growth. So you're not going to achieve that by accident. But also the strength training benefits is that it enhances your strength, your balance, and your bone density is another one that I see a lot of, again, through data of the InBody scan. So we need to include our resistance training in 2 to 3 times a week. So when we're looking at our overall picture of what a healthy week of activity looks like, we are going to avoid doing cardio every day. We're going to reduce that down to 2 days a week. We're going to increase the intensity of that cardio. So we're going to do intervals and bursts so that the intensity is such that you wouldn't be able to sustain that for an hour if you were to go off and do an hour of it. So think of it in that way. And then we're going to add 2 to 3 sessions of resistance training where we are going to strengthen our bodies, which is going to increase our metabolism, which is going to give you more grace when you're talking about food because you'll be burning more. So even if you have the odd chocolate or whatever, your body is burning so many more calories, which means that you're just going to speed up your results and you'll achieve results in a quicker period of time. The next thing that I wanted to explain to you was the EPOC effect. So we've talked about burning calories in the sessions. We've talked about adding resistance training so that you are strengthening your muscles, which increases your metabolism. But there is another piece to this pie, and this is like the wellness or the fitness industry secret, not even a secret, I guess it's just an understanding of physiology and how the body works. And this is EPOC. And so EPOC stands for exercise post excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. And basically what that means is how long does it take your body to come back to neutral and to your pre-exercise levels once you've done exercise. So, for example, when you go for a walk, your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up, your respiratory rates are how often your breathing goes up. Everything increases and heightens to be able to satisfy the exercise. Within 2 hours of you going for a walk, all of those energy systems and all of those processes come back down to a level ground. And so, or to starting values, I guess, to resting rates. Now, in that 2 hour period, you are burning more calories because the body's working on bringing those systems back down and recovering from that workout. So when you're in a situation where you're walking, as I mentioned, that can take up to 2 hours. However, the exciting bit, get ready for this because it gets me very excited to share this information, is that when you are doing a combination of interval style of training coupled with resistance training, that exercise post-oxygen consumption period can last for up to 36 hours after. So it can take the body 36 hours to recover and return back to normal levels after your workout. So what that basically means is that for up to 36 hours after your workout, you are in this high calorie burn range. And that's why we talk about doing these, especially the resistance training, three times a week. So you've got this overlap. So your body's in this higher fat burning range for, as I said, up to 36 hours, which pretty much brings you to your next walk or your next workout. Now, EPOC is increased. So it's considered the continued calorie burn after a workout, and short bursts of high intensity amplify it, but also so do heavy resistance training sessions as well. So then the most effective and the ultimate formula for your workouts is to combine resistance training with and resistance exercises, so your squats and your chest press and your bicep curls and your lat pull down and your planks, with short bursts of cardio. or short bursts of interval training. So this is not only going to build lean muscle, but it's going to burn more calories. It's going to, in your session, but also create a body that burns more calories through your basal metabolic rate and through your metabolism, but you're also going to maximize the EPOC effect and the amount of time after the workout that you are in this higher fat burning range. So you can see that by combining the resistance and the short bursts, you're just going to speed your results up further, and these workouts take less time. So what does that look like? How would we actually do that? And this is something that at Sentience Personal Training and in all of the online workouts that I design for the Lifestyle Academy members, there is always these blending of the two. So for example, in studio, that might look like giving members, I just did it this morning, giving members a set of pelvic lifts on a roller, a set of floor chest presses, and a long eye, which is a core strength movement. Got the members to do 4 rounds of that. But halfway between that round, after they'd done 2 rounds, I got them to jump onto the Airdyne, which is the bike that also has the handles, the arms and legs going at the one time, for 1.5 minutes. So that was a short burst. And then she went back and did her another 2 rounds of the resistance training, and then went on again and did the Airdyne for another 1.5 minutes. So that's one way you could do it. Or you could say, I'm going to do a combination of push-ups and squats and then 30 seconds of mountain climbers. And the mountain climbers is that burst to get your heart rate up. So the bursts don't need to be too long. They don't need to last for 5 minutes. In fact, when we're giving bursts to our members, we try and keep it under 3 minutes or even like under 2 minutes. If we're blending it into the resistance within the resistance exercises, then it could be 30 seconds or 40 seconds, 45 seconds the most. So that is what I'm going to recommend to you today. So for your day 2 actions, that if you are doing strength training, jump in and do some sort of a cardio workout or a cardio burst in between, so that you are going to not only burn more calories in your session, but we're going to lengthen this EPOC effect to effectively up to 36 hours. So when we're coupling today's changes and efficient workouts with yesterday's reducing food quantities and reducing the times that we're eating, you can start to see how the magic is going to happen. Okay, so in summary, for day 2, the day 2's actions was getting rid of the thinking too much, thinking that getting healthy, takes too much time. So we want to dismiss that, and remembering that it's more overthinking what we should be doing rather than just taking action that does take up most of the time. We can help ourselves out by meal planning, scheduling things into our calendars so that we can park that we are going to take those actions and we can free up our headspace. Also remembering that whether you're grabbing a carrot and some walnuts or whether you're grabbing a piece of chocolate, it's going to take the same amount of time. We don't need our worlds to be running perfectly smoothly for us to choose health. We can choose health in any time in our lives. And in fact, choosing health when life does get stressful and difficult is the best thing that you can do for yourself for resilience, coping, and to help you to have clarity in those moments. Then we've talked about time efficient and effective workouts. And we're going to make, this is the summary of jumping ahead of my slides today. But going to finish off with simplifying our food choices and meal plans to reduce thinking time. But we're going to revolutionize our cardio, and that is by reducing the amount of time, but adding intervals into our cardio time. If you're not currently doing strength training, add some strength training in 2 times a week, 15 minutes, some push-ups and squats, or get into the gym rather than doing a cardio class, do a weights-based class instead. And if you are currently doing strength training, going to get you to add some short bursts of intensity into those workouts to increase the EPOC effect and the cardio burn of the sessions, which is going to speed everything up for you. Let's do a quick review of what we've covered today. So, first up, we saw a whole new way to think about how to make healthy choices so it doesn't take too much of your time. You can use what you learned today to immediately help you to get started and to see results and start taking action. Plus, you also found out how to get the most effective workouts. So you now have clarity around how you can speed up your metabolism and to speed the whole process of getting results up. It's been a jam-packed video, so make sure you review your notes or come back and watch this again and start to put these actions into place right away. So speaking of taking action, before we go, leave me a comment right below this video. Tell me what you would feel like once you've started to apply this new mindset, actually start taking action and improve the quality of your workout so that you speed up your metabolism and you start to get results faster. Knowing how to get healthier with less time through efficient workouts absolutely helps you to get started. I would love some feedback on this video. Please post it, comment on this video. And it's super important for me that you get clear about the impact that it's going to have on your life, but also the lives of your family and those around you when you start to take action in looking after your health. So let me know in the comments, as I mentioned. And if you found that this video has been useful, please feel free to share it on Facebook or even share this link with a friend. I would welcome you to do that. In the next video, though, I'm going to show you my entire wellness and weight loss blueprint so that you know exactly what you need to get results in a sustainable way. It's going to build on everything that we talked about today. And most importantly, it's going to outline everything from the beginning stages to mastering your wellness. And I believe that this is the most valuable training in the whole workshop is this day 3 that's coming up tomorrow. You'll walk away with so much clarity about how everything fits together, and you'll see the areas that are most important for you to look after right now. So if you're juggling work, life, and kids, and you aren't sure how you can fit wellness into your busy schedule, this will give you the exact path to run on and to follow to get fitter and healthier and feel better in your body. And if you're over the age of 40 and you're struggling to manage your weight, then you'll learn the specific steps that you can take right now to amplify the momentum that you already have with these first 2 lessons. Plus, you'll identify a few things which are likely holding you back. In today's session, I've included a recorded workout for you to experience the resistance training, a weekly workout template, and also the interval training guide that you can download, and you can start to use these resources to move into action and start to get some results. So the next video, as I mentioned, is going to be all about equipping you for long-term success and giving you the big picture strategy for making the progress that you are after and the goals that you're wanting to achieve. So take what you've learned here today and start putting it into practice. The key thing is to get moving and to start to create some progress. I can't wait to see you in the next video.